How are you, everyone? We have a special guest. He's down at that end of the table. He's back.
Daddy's
Better
home.
than ever. I don't know. We'll see about that. But welcome back to the one, the only Josh Arno. He has returned from
self-exile.
Basically, yeah. Kim has let him back on the show.
There you go. Thanks, Kim.
So, Josh, how you been? How are things going? What's up?
Yeah, new job, living back in Natick, and just doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
Doing the thing with the thing. Gotcha.
Yep.
Are you still watching sports?
Yeah, pretty regularly.
Yeah,
I'd say I watch sports on a
do
fairly
you think you
regular
can fit
basis.
in on the show pretty well?
I think I'll
still?
be okay. I think I'll manage,
okay.
yeah.
Right. So we're going to test your skills right off the bat. The local football team, the New England Patriots, they are still undefeated. What are your thoughts? Let's go like your whole season because we haven't heard it so far, and then kind of dive into
Wait, on the Natick football team?
No, the Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots. Oh,
Yeah.
because the Natick football team is what, 7-0 or
7-0,
8-0 or something like that. Yeah, good for them. Yeah, listen, I mean, the offense has been a little Jekyll and Hyde. They're a little, start and stop. Sometimes they look like they're the well-oiled machine that I think they will eventually by week 17 be. And sometimes they look like they're kind of incompetent. And there's been some drops. It's definitely not been Brady, in my opinion. I think Brady's been very good. Few dumb interceptions, but nothing real bad. I think Edelman's had some uncharacteristic drops. Obviously, some of the experiments they've had haven't worked out. But the defense is obviously the real story. They are the boogeymen fit. It fits because they take the ball away like it's no one's. Like I've never seen anything like it. The fact that Cleveland turned the ball over, not once, not twice, but 3 plays in a row. I've never seen that in an NFL game before. I've never seen it.
I've never seen a
Are
play
you
so
ignoring me
simple.
just on your phone over
No,
here?
no. I'm ordering dinner. Continue. I'm listening to you the whole time though.
I don't want to be on the show anymore. No, I mean, it's incredible what the defense is doing. And they could have had more. Gilmore dropped what was an easy interception the other day.
Yeah.
It's at this point, this is going to be a real test this week because they haven't looked great against the run at times.
It's probably the hardest game of the year so far, right?
It might end up being the hardest game of the year, period.
Yeah.
Because I know that Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is a special need. He's double, triple mega jointed, and he's going to be back. Like, even if he's back in, 3 or 4 weeks they play him?
Yeah, it might not be
week
100%
14.
by then.
He's not going to be 100%. He won't be. And honestly, if I were the Kansas City Chiefs, I'd look around and be like, Teddy Bridgewater, Robert Griffin III, all these other running quarterbacks that we kind of ruined by kind of making him play injured. And Andy Reid's an idiot, so he's not going to do that. He's going to rush him back.
It's Andy Reid him, yeah.
He's going to Andy Reid him. He's going to do what Shanahan did to RG3, and he's going to end up getting more hurt, and then you'll be really screwed.
What's your take on the AB thing? I'd love to hear what happened. What you were thinking.
So AB really screwed over my fantasy team pretty royally this year. Not once,
fault.
but twice. So
Okay.
thanks, AB.
Yeah.
Here's my philosophy on all this. And it's easy to say that because I'm a Patriots fan. I wanted him on the team. I thought it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I can't stand the philosophy in sports of, and I think I've said it on the show times before, where, and obviously, it's whatever. He's got allegations against him. Until something's proven,
Right.
it's not the Patriots or the NFL's responsibility to determine guilt or what he's responsible for and what he's not responsible. Is Antonio Brown a good guy? No, he's not a good guy. But are there bad people who work in office buildings every day, or are teachers, or are firemen or police officers or whatever else, whatever kind of job you can think of? Yeah, there are horrible people who do those jobs. But at the end of the day, it's not the boss's job to be like, oh, you know what, you're a bad person. I'm gonna fight. Like, that's not their job.
Did they suspend Trent Brown yet, the Raiders?
No, he's still good.
And he's got a civil case against him for domestic abuse.
Who does?
The old left tackle for the Patriots, Trent Brown.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
now on the Raiders now.
Yeah.
Similar thing where allegations, civil suit, but they go, let's get a play on the courts before we do anything.
Yeah, and that's how it is now. And Antonio Brown obviously not a good dude because he sent those intimidating texts with his lawyer in the group chat, which is mind blowing to me. But in my opinion, you're not as long as he's not legally in any trouble.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then how do you feel about Bennett and the kicking situation? Because we haven't talked to you in a while, and Gordon. Those kind of moves where nothing seems to hurt the Patriots. They're making all these moves.
I mean, Bennett wasn't doing anything. You have so many guys on that line that do Bennett's job. And Bennett didn't want to play. And you know what? He should have known what he was getting into. And the Patriots thought they could handle it. They couldn't. Bill was wrong. Whatever. You eat crow. You take your.
And it didn't hurt the team at all.
No, there's no effect on the team. It doesn't matter. He's whatever. You get your 7th or 6th round pick for him, and you move on, and you don't have him in the locker room disrupting things. The Josh Gordon thing, the next shoe is going to drop. You have to think, right?
They're going to come out later. He did flunk a test or something. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that, or like he was being late for meetings, or he was checking out. And because Josh Gordon is self-admittedly not a football guy. Right. He said it at times. He plays football because that's what he's good at. That's what he can make the most money doing. Right. But he doesn't like football. He said that. He said that before. And so if he checks out, whatever, it's fine. And we're going to get N'Keal Harry back. We're going to get Isaiah Wynn back. You're going to get Mohamed Sanu into the system. You were only here for 3 days.
Were you kind of surprised about that move, and then you realized it was because of the Gordon thing, or did you think, oh, it's something to do, or how did you? Because the timing of that for me.
Well, I think we're going to bring in another receiver, regardless of whether you kept Gordon or not. I think that because it sounds like they were active in the trade market yesterday, which I'll bring up later. Yeah. It sounded like they were in on AJ Green, and the Bungles did what the Bungles do.
Right.
Apparently, the reports are that they are philosophically opposed to all and any trades, which is you're 0-7, so good for you.
We couldn't think of a guy that had been traded from the Bengals since Ochocinco was a free agent, we think. And then Corey Dillon, that was what, 2003?
Yeah.
So I can't think of a trade they've made since then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously their thing is to stand packed. They stuck with Marvin Lewis for 15 years, which is unbelievable. He won, one playoff game?
And they benched their quarterback today, they said, right? And they're starting the other...
Ryan Finley.
Yeah, Ryan Finley.
NC State product.
Whatever. I mean, do you, Cincinnati. Cleveland's a miserable, horrible state, or Ohio, rather, is a miserable, horrible state. And Cincinnati is like the one okay thing about that
But getting
state.
back to the Patriots, isn't it amazing that they faced all this, I wouldn't call it adversity, but a lot of stuff has happened since the season started, and they haven't lost.
I think it's kind of been that way for like 4, 5, 6 years now, though. Yeah. I think the rest of the NFL and the media is like, they're bored with the Patriots because they're boring in all reality. Like this whole Tom Brady thing, freaking, what's his name there? Who's his guru guy? The Snakes. Guerrero buys a house and sells his house, buys one in Plymouth, and the Bradys are moving to Connecticut.
Right.
Doesn't look like that. That was so overblown that he was selling his house. Yeah, Brookline stinks.
What did you think about the wag the dog comment about how Brady, they released that trailer where he walks out of the spa and the Paul Rudd thing on Netflix?
I mean, that's again that was something else that was taken completely out of context because when it first broke, it sounded like the joke was that he was coming out of the massage parlor. But then Paul Rudd goes in and it's the cloning place.
But you only watched a certain part of it, and you have no idea.
Right, and everyone obviously reports the worst side of it, and like does it look shady when you look at it without any context? Yeah, but if you watch the show, it has nothing to do with a massage parlor.
Right.
There's no even the joke isn't even about that.
But it's easy for an out of touch with reality person like who may be a Jets fan. Or anybody else to be like, oh,
I mean, the Jets, they see things that aren't real. We've all learned that.
So to come back to this past week, we had the Cleveland Browns in town, the team that was supposed to be the crown jewel of the AFC this year.
In the season, they were a hot team.
And all of a sudden,
them. That was one of the last shows I did.
Yeah, and Baker has not looked great. Odell, for whatever reason, isn't great. Landry's struggling. The defense is awful. I think the play that sums up last game was the play where Lawrence Guy was literally handed the football by Baker Mayfield. Almost, if it couldn't have been any cleaner. What are our thoughts on the Patriots win? Was it impressive, or was it just like the previous 7 before?
I think the Browns suck, so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, so here's the thing. The Browns they show flashes, right? Like they beat Baltimore, who I think is one of the better teams in the league.
They should have beat Seattle 2 weeks ago.
They should have beat Seattle. Freddie Kitchens has to go. He has to get fired now, today. Anyone can do a better job there. Anyone. The fact that he says to the reporter, I don't coach penalties. I don't do anything with that. Yeah, no kidding, Freddie. You're the most penalized team in the league. You're more penalized than teams that have played one more game than you.
It's not the Raiders.
The fact the Raiders aren't first.
Well, Vontaze Burfict is now suspended and out for the season, so that's a huge help. That's a huge help. The fact that the Raiders have a better record than the Browns should tell you everything you need to know about Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah.
That's not wrong. That's definitely not wrong.
Because John Gruden has been out of the league he's back for a year, but he's been out of the league for 10 years. Freddie Kitchens has at least been in the league. And you know what? I think Baker Mayfield's frustrated? Because Freddie Kitchens was Baker's guy. Mm-hmm. They hired Freddie Kitchens for Baker Mayfield, and you can see it in Baker Mayfield's face in his press conference that he knows that Freddie Kitchens is the problem.
The thing that always intrigues me, though, is you have these offensive coordinators. Obviously, they're only in charge of the offense. They do what they do. They're great. Freddie Kitchens is the whole reason that Baker and the Browns did what they did and had the hopes. Then all of a sudden they come in, and now he's the head coach. Now he has to handle defensive guys, and Baker just can't throw a football anymore.
And Baker had to run in with a reporter today, right?
He had a
Another
whole,
one,
the
he's
whole
had a few.
scrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I mean, if he stopped cleaning the stadium by himself with a stupid little vacuum cleaner, he might have some more patience.
You probably don't even know what that is. Do you remember what those are?
What, the Dirt Devils?
Yeah, Dirt Devil, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
You're only a year younger.
I'm only a year younger than
He
you.
grew up
See,
in
I-
Framingham, which is like they're like 20 years behind.
See,
you.
I also work with a bunch of people who are younger than me. And like they're like,
They don't know
oh,
how to open a car door if there's no button.
yeah, one of them actually drives a Standard, which I have to say, good for you. You're
That's
a
impressive.
millennial driving a Standard is a.
Do you give them a magazine to see if they can swipe it?
I honestly should. I honestly should. Yeah, I mean, the rest of name one other good coach in the league. I dare you to try.
I still think Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league.
Sean McVay
Offensive
got
coaches.
coached circles around in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because he has a quarterback that doesn't know how to think for himself.
Okay, but it didn't catch up with him until that Super Bowl.
Yeah, because no one else is. They're literally the reason the Patriots are so good is because they do common sense things. Every other coach in the league doesn't know what common sense is.
Well, and to that point, like the thing that like, and there you go. The game plan that they came out with, the Cleveland Browns, where they didn't run the ball the first series. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And then your first 5 runs after that are all of 10-plus yard runs. Yeah. Obviously, the fumbles are issues, but
I mean, yeah, the fumbles are real issues, but what are you doing? You guys thrown 11 interceptions, and the team you're playing picks off the ball for fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. The rest of the league, I'd say Harbaugh's a pretty good coach. I like Harbaugh.
like Harbaugh is in like Baltimore Harbaugh?
Yeah, obviously not Michigan Harbaugh. They were awful this year. They're garbage.
So
They're a hot mess.
speaking
They
of
did
Harbaugh,
destroy Notre Dame.
They did.
Oh, wow, that was real painful to watch.
in about the same conditions as New England. But talking about Harbaugh this weekend, probably the first of what is going to be a string of tough games right before the bye week, Sunday Night Football against the Ravens.
Right.
What are our thoughts on that? Because I think
First real test, I think.
I don't think it's going to be a test at all. I think this will be easier than like the Buffalo game or even the Jets game in New York.
He hates the quarterback for the Ravens. Hates him.
So listen, I was way down on Lamar Jackson. I was you. I was like, Lamar Jackson, people are going to figure him out, whatever, no problem. I've been wrong. I'm going to eat crow on that one. And you guys know I don't like to eat crow on this show.
I don't think you ever have.
No, even Tuukka Rask still sucks, by the way. We'll get to that later. He's still garbage. Listen, the Patriots have had some problems with running quarterbacks in the past. That being said, they're so, like, if Jamie Collins is bought in as much as it looks like he's bought in, you say to Jamie Collins, you're the QB spy. That's it. That's all you have to worry about is him. Lamar Jackson's going to run past Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins is going to decapitate him. Jamie
All
Collins
it takes
is
is one hit.
Yeah. And, well, listen, Lamar Jackson, what he's done is impressive. He's 6th in the league in rushing as a quarterback. And when it comes to throwing, he's a game manager level thrower. He's a game manager level thrower. He is. He hasn't thrown that many picks when he's had to throw.
Has he been better than Kyler Murray?
No.
But Lamar Jackson has the benefit of being able to see over the line of scrimmage. So that's something.
Kyler Murray is short. Anthony is taller than Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is very small. But I'll tell you what, I've been impressed by him too. But I think the Patriots win this game because what they're basically going to do is they're going to sell out to stop the run and say, all right, if you can beat us through the air, beat us through the air. Baltimore doesn't have any scary weapons as far as receivers or tight ends, really.
But Mark Andrews is probably their best, and he's banged up. Marquise Brown might not even play, and he's the best receiver.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Gilmore, you're going to put Gilmore on him, and you're going to say, all right, throw to someone else. Good luck. The rest of our cornerbacks are also really good.
So they definitely cover the spread? For people with mortgages out there, they need to know.
I don't know if they're going to cover the spread because what's going to happen is Baltimore is going to run the ball and try to control the clock, and so I think it's going to be limited possessions for both teams. But Patriots should win.
So take the under?
I would take the under, and I would say the Patriots win 24-13.
Okay.
I'm taking the under, and they cover. What about you?
Sure.
What is the spread right now? What is
I
it?
think it's 6.5.
Oh, then yeah, they would cover in my scenario, I guess.
So you can double check that. Obviously, we want to give Brian his 30 seconds to talk about the Raiders and how they lost again last week, so I'll give that to you now if you want it.
Yeah, they lost, but it was a close game. And,
Oh, wow. Ooh. Horseshoes and hand grenades, right, Brian?
27-24. The over-under is 4 for the wins for Vegas. They already got 3. Got the whole rest of the season with one more game. So they got destroyed against Green Bay the week before. Houston was a good team, not a good team. I don't know. Now I think it's probably the Colts, and you got to say
It's Colts,
Buffalo,
Houston.
which is disgusting to say, but record-wise, that's who you're looking at. But yeah, I thought they played decent. I think they had some injuries. I think some guys are starting to get healthy coming back. So, but hey, they're still better than the Chargers.
It's true.
So, as we wrap up, any final thoughts before we jump to the NBA real quick?
Are we all out on Sam Darnold at this point? Because that's 2 awful performances for him in a row. I thought he was going to be the best out of that rookie class, and that's not looking like the case anymore,
Doesn't
is
look
it?
that way.
He's still better than Josh Allen.
I think I'd take Josh Allen.
I think I'd take a rock before I took either one of them, but that's a whole other thing.
It could be worse. It could be Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All AFC East quarterbacks. All right, so as we wrap up the NFL, move on to the NBA.
Yep.
We ran our NBA preview show last week.
Yeah.
It didn't get recorded.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of stuff has changed back then, so it was all garbage anyway.
Exactly. So we'll start with the Celtics. They are 2-1 on the
2-1.
season.
Playing right now.
Good, yeah.
They'll start kickoff in 15 minutes from
Oh,
recording.
kickoff, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, they're kicking off. They're only using your feet in this form of
When
basketball.
Marcus Smart plays, it's always a kickoff.
What are our thoughts early on in the season? Before we'll get to Kyrie, but what's our thoughts on the Celtics?
I mean, they already look like they're more fun to watch anyways. And I think Gordon Hayward starting to look a little bit more like himself.
It's going to the hole.
And I will tell you that I think Tatum has seemed to have eliminated a lot of those mid-range jumpers so far.
Good.
You grimaced. I think are you still out on Tatum? Are you out on Tatum?
No, I was never out on Tatum.
Okay,
I don't care if he's taking
one of my
Kobe shots.
He has bunk beds.
No, I think Tatum Brown has been up
He's
and
out,
down a
he's
little
out
bit.
tonight. But he did just turn 23 and had a ridiculous party at Stray Waterfront, which they said he didn't recover till the next day.
Yeah, I'm sure. That makes perfect sense. But anyways,
Sounds like a Josh Knight striker.
I like that signing. I think the Celtics, listen, they're probably going to have almost an identical record as last
But a
year.
lot more fun to watch.
They're going to be a lot more fun to watch. There's going to be no drama, and actually probably be a higher seed because I think Toronto is going to take a big step back. You would imagine.
Yeah, they're in no man's land right now.
Philly, I'll be interested to see what Philly does. That'll be interesting. Joel Embiid, by the way, John Collins is dead. I went to his funeral and his wake. He died. I don't know if you guys witnessed the posterization.
Oh, I saw it.
He's very dead. And that's what makes that more impressive is that John Collins is a legitimate rim protector.
Yeah. That Atlanta team's good.
Well, now how long is what's his name?
It's just a sprained ankle. He'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
I think the most intriguing thing, and I thought it before the season, and I really think it now, is inside rim protection and preventing other teams from getting offensive rebounds. So Brian and I had this discussion earlier. Is it more important to add more offensive rebounds or to stop the other team from getting offensive rebounds? Now, I'm in the corner of I'd rather, instead of Ben Simmons getting 4, 5, 6 offensive rebounds and getting easy points, I'd rather take those away than the opportunity of, say, 3, 4 extra possessions through a whole game on the other end. Brian is on the other side.
I know, I agree with you. I think it's more important because I think the Celtics have enough scorers and shooters where they're going to be shooting around 50% every night anyways. So I think it's more important that you don't let teams who shoot in the mid to low 40s get those second chances. That's, I think, where you run into problems.
See, my thinking was that if you're already near the hoop and you miss a shot, you got to grab it, the 50-50 ball, and put it back up.
Oh,
because
sure, of course.
It's a higher percentage shot because you're probably right under the hoop. If you get a defensive rebound, yeah, you get the rebound. There's still no guarantee that you're going to even get a shot up because you're going to go all the way down the court, and then the best case scenario is what? 45%, which is what the average person shoots? Maybe. I mean, that's like best case scenario. Typically more like 30s.
Sure.
So you're going to go down, Marcus checks up a 3, and it's got a 33% chance of going in. Or you can grab the ball into the hoop, Cantor's right under the hoop. He's going to go up, probably get fouled. I mean, has a guy ever gone up on an offensive rebound and not got fouled ever in the history of the NBA?
Very rare.
So, okay, so I'm just saying it's like a guaranteed point.
Maybe once in 84.
Yeah, maybe like in youth basketball in Natick, like they don't call fouls when there's a Patriots game on at 4 o'clock and they want to go home.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's the only time you've ever seen. That was my argument.
Yeah, no, that'll be.
It goes both ways.
I mean, it goes both ways. There's no right answer. I wouldn't think. I'm not obviously a basketball guy.
And then it looks like the Lakers are kind of having some issues. And then, but we were more importantly, Kyrie's already kind of shooting his mouth off for the Nets.
Yeah, so
which is great news for us.
I want to get to that, the Jackie McMullen article, and obviously the other pieces of talking about how Brooklyn ownership is already kind of fraying and wondering, is this Kyrie signing a good thing?
Yeah, it's not.
He
Spoiler
had
alert, it's not.
Yeah, he had an issue with his teammates. I think it was like midway through the first quarter of their last game.
Yep.
He dropped 50 points, a career high. He's averaging the
And
most
lost.
he's ever had. He's pulling 2K moves street moves on the court.
Yeah,
And
yelling at his teammates, why don't you give me the ball when I need it,
I mean, Kyrie, I hope he seeks help because he's not mentally okay. He's not okay.
And the question is what happens when KD comes back? Is Kyrie already going to want to be out?
He's going to be
or?
moany and bitchy, which I can't say in this state anymore. And
Is he going to complain that he's not getting the ball?
he's going to complain that he's not the star because he wants to be the star, but he can't because he can't handle the leadership role.
Yeah.
And he's going to pout like he did when he was with LeBron because now KD is back.
Yeah. At least it's not as bad as Golden State is now. They are
Golden State's going
awful.
to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. I wouldn't worry about
They
that.
need personnel. They don't have anybody.
They don't have anybody, but they're going to figure it out. It doesn't matter. If they just gave the Clippers the trophy already, they're going to win.
So I was going to ask, we have our predictions for what we think. What is your prediction for
It's the Clippers.
Clippers versus.
Probably Milwaukee.
Okay.
Clippers
Yeah.
probably. Maybe.
That's a safe pick, yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'll be interested to see if the 76ers can actually
Stay healthy.
stay healthy. I don't even know if they have to stay 100% healthy because they're actually a lot deeper now. Because even if Embiid goes down, you have Horford now, and Simmons can do Simmons stuff.
What is Simmons stuff exactly?
Shoot from half a foot away.
Okay.
And get rebounds.
Well, you're very much in the same boat. We all here picked the Clippers. Dan and Brian picked them over the Celtics. I said the Sixers, and you said the Bucks. So
I mean, look at it this way: the Clippers. Kawhi won last year with Toronto's actually still got a decent roster, but he has Paul George, who's probably basically have the two best wing defenders and wing scorers in the league now.
That's fair. That's a fair
I
assessment.
mean, definitely the two best wing defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Because LeBron, I don't think LeBron is still a top 5 player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not number 1 anymore in my mind.
No. They have him playing point guard, and he can't guard point guards because the point guards blow by him. He reaches his hand in, and now, for the first time in his life, they're calling fouls on LeBron.
Yeah. Because no one likes LeBron anymore. LeBron backed communist China.
Yeah,
And I don't care if he brings tacos to every fire station in this country. I will never forget that LeBron backed communist China and proved once and for all that there's one thing that LeBron cares about. LeBron's brand and LeBron's brand making money.
LeBron's money.
Because now that LeBron can't make money in China, which is probably one of the biggest markets
He probably
in the
makes
world.
more money off China than he does in the United States.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so LeBron is all pissy that he can't make money off the commies anymore. And I will never forgive him for that.
All right, so let's do this one quick. We got a minute here before we get into the NHL. Game 7 tonight, World Series.
Who are you taking?
Who are you taking?
Boobs.
All right,
Boobs for
Brian?
the win. I hope it's Kate Upton.
I really hope it's the
We've already seen
the,
those.
the
It's-
Nationals, because I want to see them win. But the Astros are a better team.
Actually, I would prefer the Nationals too because I would love to just see what Bryce Harper does. It would be a great story to get rid of.
Where's Cam?
For Bryce Harper to leave because he didn't think they could win a World Series and to watch them win a World. It would just say a lot about who Bryce Harper is as a person too.
Yeah.
And we all know he's an a-hole, but it would just say even more about his a-holery.
I think, Washington's the better story. I think they're just a more likable team, mostly because the Astros have already won.
I like Max Scherzer. Scherzer seems like a chill
He's
guy.
crazy.
I think this is it for the Astros though, because they're going to lose Cole.
They're going to lose
a
Cole.
huge-
Verlander's only got like a year
Yeah,
left.
this is it for them. They've had like a 3-year run where they were like probably the best team in baseball, or one of them.
Yeah, they do everything the Dodgers can't do. So just kind of
They won a World Series too 2 years
They
ago.
did, yeah.
So
Astros across the board?
No, I
Or
think it's
Nationals across the board?
I
too?
want the Nationals, but I think the Astros are a better team.
I would agree with that. But I think that both teams have such good pitching, and if Scherzer can go 3-4 innings tonight,
Which eye? Which eye? Look, which eye do you look at? Which eye do you look
that's
at?
confusing for batters. I mean, I would assume it's all hands on deck, so I assume you'll
It's
see.
everyone but Verlander and Strasburg. Those are the only two that won't go.
I see. I don't even believe that. That's true.
Do you think after going 100-plus pitches last night, they'll still go tonight?
World
You
Series.
take tomorrow off. I mean,
Yeah, World Series. If they have to come in like 2 outs and like let's say there's a guy that Strasburg never allowed to hit against,
like Altuve or somebody.
he's on the table.
Yeah.
100%. Everyone's on the table in Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So we'll let you know about our thoughts after the World Series, followed up next week. And now to the piece de resistance, the not world champions, NHL. So the Bruins.
How'd you do over the summer?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Stanley
they
Cup
lost
loss.
Game 7.
Stanley Cup loss.
about it. It was horrible.
But they did beat the other night. They beat the Blues. Isn't that, don't you feel great?
Literally
now?
did not.
People who like celebrated that on Facebook, I defriend immediately.
There was not a single like movement in my body of
Did
like.
you even watch the game?
Oh yeah, I watched it when I watched
I
it.
mean, I watch every game.
But there was not like a yay we won. It was like a yeah. If there was game 8 of that series,
Was
that's
that the
how it
hardest
would
game
have
to
gone.
watch? Like this year? I
No,
feel like,
no, because it's a new season. You know, and listen, but the way they've started has washed most of the bad feeling away.
Are you over last year already?
Pretty close, because honestly, this year, like the fact that it's the Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres atop the Eastern Conference right now, I'm looking at the Buffalo Sabres, because the Buffalo Sabres did this last year where they jumped out to like this amazing start, and then Jack Eichel was like, and down
What was the
toilet they
Blues
went.
record at like the All-Star break?
They were last in the NHL at January 1st.
Correct.
Wow.
Which is like unheard of.
Yeah, and that's never happened.
And usually, if you're not in the playoffs by American Thanksgiving, you're not making. I mean, it's the 7 and 8 seeds can have a little wiggle room, generally speaking. But if you're more often than not being in the playoffs by literally this time next month is a bad sign.
And then what's your take on the team so far? The kids are taking over. What's going on?
I mean, the first line is by far the best line in hockey, and it's not even at all
3 years running.
close.
Still too top heavy for the playoff run?
No, because now they're starting to get the. Listen, DeBrusk did this last year where DeBrusk looked awful for the first month and a half of the season. Then he exploded for whatever he ended up with 25 goals. Coyle is starting to get his feet wet. Wagner has the most underrated hands in the league.
I wouldn't go that far.
You don't like Swags?
I didn't say that. I think Corrali is more underrated than him.
Well, I
They're
think
in the same
Corrali's a
fucking
more
line.
underrated player, but I think Swags has, like, for a fourth liner, has great hands. Did you see that goal
Oh, I
last
think.
night?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's the same way that like Sean Thornton probably had the best hands on the team when he was here, and he was just a random fourth liner.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this.
Also, I think we need to stop signing Massachusetts kids because just because they're from here doesn't mean they're good.
No, this is you should keep doing that because you get more out of those kids.
I don't think so.
Listen,
Like if there are 5 more Chris Wagners on this team, yeah, they'll play with heart, but you're gonna lose every game 15-0 because like heart doesn't win you hockey games.
no, because those guys kill penalties, my guy, and those guys are.
That's all this team is. It's just a bunch of penalty killers.
That is wrong because they have the best power play in the league, and it's David Pastrnak is automatic when he gets a one-timer from that circle, automatic.
All right, so what happens when eventually
Stanley
Pastrnak
Cup though, Pastrnak. Does he have?
he
Stanley
breaks
Cup-
his wrist
Stanley
and
Cup-itis?
Marchand breaks his wrist?
Okay, I'm not. Listen, I'm in the here and now, and I can tell you that you basically brought back 90% of the same team.
Like the Red
except-
Sox did last year.
Yeah, well, the Red Sox, baseball players are bums. This is the thing. Baseball players, bums. Hockey players actually care.
So the Red Sox won a World Series and then basically shit the bed.
Correct, because they're baseball players and they're overpaid.
The
softies.
Bruins lose the Stanley Cup. What happens this year? We got to wrap this up. So.
I mean, if the Bruins don't win the Stanley Cup this year, it's an abject failure.
And that's the final thoughts. Thank you for watching Spin the Music in the Back, and we'll see you next week.